everybody. I want to welcome you to our show. I just shared a little bit about what we do, but I had to introduce you to my amazing, incredible, longtime friend, Shannon Hernandez, as you can see. So I'm super excited that you're here, Shannon. Yes, yes. I got to give you the intro. I got to give all of the claps and the applause because you deserve all of that and more. I want to talk a little bit about your bio, and then I'm going to ask you what's not in the bio that the people need to know. Sound
All
good?
right.
All right. All right. So Shannon is all about that joy in life and business. She's specifically known around the globe for the content personality wheel, which we have to talk about. And she's also the founder of Joyful Business Revolution, a business growth strategy and consultancy company that works with brick and mortar or online service based business owners. Shannon and her team specialize in I love that word, joyful business growth solutions and organic marketing that helps their clients grow aligned audiences and deepen community relationships that results in more joy. Look, more joy, more revenue, more time off, all the things. A sought after expert in the world of marketing and business strategy, Shannon has been featured on CBS, ABC, Fox, NBC, all the letters. She has over 25 years in award-winning curriculum design, working with both the NFL and U.S. military, and she is a master trainer and teacher. When she's not teaching, she's spreading joy and funding projects that impact the world and its people. So, once again, Shannon, super excited to have you here. What is not in the bio that the people need to know?
That's such a good question. Um, I would say something interesting that's not in the bio is I wanted to be a marine biologist when I grew up. And that's super fun, right? But I lived in Illinois and I grew up in a family that was very like, you're going to stay here forever in Illinois. And when I said, I think I want to be a marine biologist, my dad said, there's no oceans around here. And it was like the end of the discussion. And I realized a few years ago, why the heck didn't he say, yes, do it and move to where the ocean is?
Right, right. Like you have options. You can be
Yeah,
near an ocean if you choose to. So,
absolutely.
what did you decide to do instead, ma'am? What made you move into this passion of yours? Why are you doing what you do?
Well, I started out as a teacher. I taught 10 years in Charlotte, North Carolina, and 5 years in Spanish Harlem, New York City. And I taught eighth graders, and teaching is truly my calling. And I have leaned into that in video, in live. We're going to talk about all of that, but to really grow this business where it is today. And I love teaching, it is like my gift to the world.
So, what about teaching adults made you happy? Because eighth grade and adults, there's kind of a little bit of a span, a difference there. What put you in this particular seat, and why is this a gift for you? And for
Yeah.
the people because you're impacting a lot of people, Shannon. I know this for a fact. I've seen it. So, why? What's the difference?
Well, first of all, eighth graders, they're like really unpredictable. And they taught me a lot about me. I grew so much as a teacher, being able to teach them, especially in Spanish Harlem, because I looked very different. I had a very different background and experience from them, but we really tapped into each one's joy. And you're going to hear that a lot from me. And by the way, I taught reading and writing, and their joy was not reading and writing. So I had to figure out what was that connection for each student. And that's how I really developed my craft as a storyteller. And I
Hmm.
really developed my craft of what I would call messaging and marketing, because I honestly had to win them over every single day they walked in. So I got out of there alive, right? So I left teaching. And then for the first few years of my business, I've been in business 12 years now. Um, I wasn't teaching. And I thought, I kind of have this all or none attitude sometimes. And I was like, I'm done with teaching. I'm over it. I'm not going to do it anymore. And I was a copywriter and a content writer and helped people with their messaging, their email newsletters, and their blogs, like back in the day. And I realized about 3 years in, I missed teaching.
Yeah.
I missed it so much. And so I came back full circle and started teaching marketing strategy and messaging strategy and how to grow your business through this lens of joy, as we say. And I get to work with people all over the world. I have friends all over the world. And this business has just been so rewarding in that I get to teach people, they get to make their businesses work better in terms of their organic marketing. And then they go on to impact their clients in a
Mm-hmm.
positive way. And to me, that's like probably one of the best, fascinating, lovely reasons I keep doing what I do.
So when you talk about this thing that you do, you really do light up. I have a question about that whole aspect of joy. When you talk about joy, what does that mean to you, and why is that the theme of the work and the impact that you're making?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've just put out my second book called Practical Joy, and it's all about helping people come back to their own flavor of joy, as I like to say. And it's about personal joy. And, we often write books and we resonate with things, and our message evolves as we grow when we've come through hurdles or struggles. There's been lots of places in my life where I didn't feel joy. Um, and I developed a way that I could tap into that joy. In fact, I say joy is an inside job. And so I've really worked over the last few years helping business owners understand you can have a business that is joyful. And for us, that is called joy fueled marketing, because I know if your marketing is not working, it is not joyful. I have been there. Broke my own lead generation. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be there again someday. Like, I am not immune to it. But if you can tap into your joy when you're sharing your message and you're sharing your mission and you light up and you inspire people, that does a lot of the selling for you, right? As a business owner, because people want to be around that energy. So through my own journey of coming back to joy in my personal life, coming back to joy in my business, saying, copywriting and content writing, I'm really great at it, but my joy is teaching. And then even growing this brand, we've grown really fast over the last few years. I've had to kind of take a step back and say, okay, this is good. And where am I not in complete joy? And that is always an opportunity for me to fine tune things, hire the next teammate, or whatever that is, so that I can stay in a place of joy and inspiring people to do their best work in the world.
So, this assessment that we mentioned about in your bio, what is the driving force behind that? And that's something I want to dig into a little bit, because as you know, we talk a lot about video marketing, and that's really kind of the scope of what I do is help entrepreneurs to actually leverage more live streaming video in particular, but other types of video too. Not everybody is cut out for that. And so I kind of have some ideas around what the content assessment is about. But can you share a little bit about that? And what was the origin of the idea? What's the purpose? And how does it help people?
Yeah, awesome. So the body of work that I am known for around the globe is called the Content Personality Wheel. It's been here for about 8 years. All right. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. So lesson number one to you all, develop something that's powerful and impactful, and don't quit talking about it. Like,
Love
you can
that.
always keep talking about it, find a new angle, find a way. So, I was having these conversations back in the day on the phone. People would call me and they'd say, I'm just not happy. Like, I have a coach and they're telling me I need to write a book, or I think that I need to do video to be able to be successful. I don't want to do video. And I laid in bed that night and I thought to myself, I am hearing this way too much. Like,
Mm-hmm.
too many people are coming to me saying they're being told they should do that and they don't want to. And so I laid in bed and I thought, like, I got to solve this problem. And I did solve the problem. And the problem was solved with a tool called the Content Personality Wheel, where in 3 minutes or less, you can take the quiz and you can determine your number one content personality. And there's 5 of them. So we've got video, we've got live in person, written, audio, and visual. And it's such a powerful tool that has changed so many lives and given people permission to do what they're naturally, innately born with and good at in terms of their marketing. Put the blinders on and let the rest of it go. Because as you know, it is noisy in
Yes,
the
it
online.
is.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
that's how the wheel was born. That's how the quiz was born. And over the years, because I'm a teacher and I'm a scientist, I have a bachelor's degree in biology education, and so I really believe in tested and true and tried things. Right? So we have tweaked it, we have evolved this wheel, and now not just in terms of marketing, but when you take the quiz, you'll determine your best content personality for marketing. But you also get a guide, and that guide tells you how to use your messaging, how to use your content personality to deliver your message, how to use it as to choose your main marketing platform, how to hire team with other content personalities to round out like your
Smart.
business if you're at that place, how to use your content personality in your sales process. And we've had people who have come and let's say they're written, they are so happy they never do another sales call again. We teach them how to sell in an email or how to sell in a messenger, right? So there's so much power in like knowing your gifts and knowing what you're good at and putting the blinders on and saying, I'm not listening to any of it anymore.
I love that because there are so many people that are fighting the flow, right? Because there's this flow out there. There's this thing where people are saying, oh, well, you need to and you should be. And why aren't you? And you're right. There is this fight. I remember when I first started doing video, honestly, Shannon, one of the things I was doing was wrong. I was telling people everybody should do video. And I learned pretty quickly because my audience taught me.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to watch video, but I don't necessarily want to be on camera. And
Yes.
eventually I figured out that, look, it's not for everyone. And let me tell the truth when I come out and I say, this is not for everyone, but I want to work with those who know this is what you want to do. This is one of the reasons why I love your content wheel because you're you're helping people to define where they are going to operate best and be most joyful in
Mhm.
creating content. And if they love doing video, then I love helping them to get to that space where they can do it with joy and passion. I want to show your website real quick because I pulled it up just so that people could see the 5 parts of this wheel, right? But let's talk a little bit about your site. So joyfulbusinessrevolution.com is the website, everybody. And you can follow Shannon at, is it all of your profiles, your social profiles, or is that Instagram that's in the bottom that's scrolling across the screen?
All of them.
Okay, awesome. So follow her at M. Shannon Hernandez, but also check out the website. Is this where, I think this is where they take the quiz. Yep.
Yep, right there. They can take the quiz. Um, and you know, I think there's something interesting here that I actually want to talk about just while we're talking about growing a business, right? It used to be just me in this business, but if you scroll up, you see Amy there with me,
Oh, wow.
right? And it's really an interesting transition that we've gone through because my business name used to be M. Shannon Hernandez, as you
Mm-hmm.
know. And when I brought Amy into the brand to help with sales and to help with a lot of the coaching, because she's so great at marketing and community building, um, it didn't make sense anymore. She was having sales calls and trying to sell people from an Shannon Hernandez brand, right? And
Hmm.
so it was a sticky situation, but I'm going to tell you what a year, 1 year, every week we went live on video in our Facebook group and sent it to our email list to introduce her. She started teaching with me. They started seeing her, and now I don't do sales at all.
Wow.
And she's doing a lot of the podcasts because she likes the podcast angle. I like this live stream angle, right? She's doing a lot of the podcasts for the brand, and I'm really focusing on my content personality, which is the video and the live streaming. So it's really interesting to see, us put the wheel in action, even in our own brand, and the tweaks we've made along the way as we've grown.
I love that. I love that you're sharing the collaborative effort and how you have been able to really kind of transform your business and morph it over the years. Because I remember meeting you very, very long time ago.
Mhm.
And I do
Yep.
remember the brand being Shannon Hernandez. And I wondered about, yeah, when do you accept someone new into your space, and how do you make that decision that it's right for you? But it sounds like there was a perfect complement there to the work that you were doing because she was able to operate in her gift and you're able
Yeah,
to operate in your gifts. So I love that. I'm going to
absolutely.
switch back on over here and let's talk a little bit about video. You said that you love doing live streams and you're doing video now. What types of video content are you creating right now for your business and for your audience?
Well, I have Amy and I do a weekly show on Mondays. It's a live stream show on my personal Facebook page called Organic, the Organic Marketing Show, and we're having a lot of fun there. We're repurposing the recorded file out to LinkedIn and over to YouTube, so that's been really fun. I also go live in my Facebook group on 2 Tuesdays a month. I'm teaching live a marketing concept or business growth concept. Those are super fun and super popular. And then our lead generation, every month, we hold a lead generation or a workshop, a hands-on workshop, and we host it live on Zoom. And we call it our joyful Zoom classroom. So they're in the classroom with us, and I'm teaching with my desk cam, and it's so much fun. It's so interactive. And recently I've started adding a 2-minute video clip to all my sales pages. And that's been really fun to people can see your personality. They can kind of, hear a little bit more about the program. They can make a decision based on if they like you or not in those 2 minutes. And we've actually seen conversions go way up with
I
the
love
video
it.
on the landing pages.
Yeah, I think that really is part of the power of video is being able to connect with people on a different level because they truly do get a taste. It may just be a taste, it may just be a teaser, but a teaser of who you are and how you work. So I know that we talked about right before getting on this video, we talked about you starting to do reels. Was it reels?
I have to make a disclaimer to the whole world. I have said for years, y'all, I am not doing reels. And then today, I did a reel.
Look, I know your pain because I've been saying that too and just recently started doing them. Yes.
Yeah.
What
But
made you decide? Why did you decide to do this?
well, first of all, honestly, the thing I don't like about reels is why I said I wasn't doing them. Like, I am not dancing. I am not pointing at where I'm not doing any of that crazy shit. That is not what I want to be doing. I am an education forward brand that
Yeah.
teaches people organic marketing that works. So I want to just be true to who I am. So today I went live and I did a reel. I didn't even know if I did it right. It showed up and said I did it. So I count that as a win. And I just said, hey, I'm going to do it for you. Okay. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you what I did. If you have more social media followers, friends, and connections than you have people on your email marketing list, it's time to change that. Head over to my personal page and catch our organic marketing that works. It's all about email marketing, y'all. And And it was so fun. Literally. It was so fun, but it
Yeah.
had to be tight, right? Like you don't have much time and you better know what you're going to say.
You got to move like this. You're right. And otherwise, people are scrolling to the next thing.
Yeah.
And I also think there's power in having that combination of, because just like you and I both are educational centered. We're centered around, or centering our content around teaching and transforming and making an impact, and not necessarily entertaining first. So
Mhm.
I think that it's important to have that combo of both types of content, the short and the longer form, which we both love. So yeah, I think it's really interesting. I'm going to be curious to see how your adventure transforms and how many more reels and what you change up and what you learn from this experience. I'm excited to follow. And people, by again, let me remind you that you can follow her at Shannon Hernandez. So you'll see that scrolling across the screen. Do we have your Instagram? I can pull it up. Let's do that.
Yeah, you can pull it up. It's Shannon Hernandez.
Are we going to see this reel popping up at the front?
Yes. That was a reel I did on Facebook.
Okay.
When I just said this one I did on Instagram because I was like, ooh, I just did it. I'm going to try it again. So
Sweet.
that reel was about me taking my morning cup of coffee and saying, today's another day I get to impact people and change the world.
I love it. I love it. All smiles. And yeah, I think that there's some power in not necessarily being the same as everybody else. When it comes to any type of video content that you're creating, you can be yourself. You can be true to who you are. It's funny because the other day, I'll tell you this. This is the first time I've mentioned this, but there was an ad on Facebook, I think it was, from these people that write comedy skits. But
Mm,
now they've transformed their writing of comedy skits into actually marketing. And I can't think of the name of the academy now that they have. But I was curious about it because I suck at telling jokes. I can never retell a joke with the right punchline. It's just an Achilles heel for me. But
yeah,
I thought the power of the copy and what they were writing about was the idea that you shouldn't you shouldn't send out boring content. Like nobody's paying attention to boring content anymore. But as I kind of went through the content that they created, there's some powerful stuff in the back end of what they have, but I still am not a joke teller. So I knew that the social media posts that they were creating, I could never share because it would not be authentic.
yeah.
However, it did remind me that we can still be entertaining and still be ourselves no matter who we are.
Absolutely. And I think, that's what I want to say. So when people come to us for marketing, and listen, it's real. It's a visibility thing, it's a confidence thing. It's all
Yeah.
wrapped up. When you are a business owner and you're growing your business, you got to put yourself out there. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to talk about safe visibility for a minute because I did a whole training on safe visibility. And I think that's the difference between everyone who says, oh, you need to be more visible, you need to be more visible. No, you need to be visible in a way that feels really safe and nourishing to your nervous system, right? And for many of us, coaches, consultants, course creators, service based business owners, that is leaning into our expertise and leaning into our teaching and leaning into um, feeling safe in that way. It's not the dancing, it's not the joking, it's not any of that. And I want everyone to know that that's okay. I have built nearly a $1 million brand with organic marketing completely. I have never done an ad in my life. And I have never put makeup on. I have never, I mean, if it was on, it was on, but like I showed up here today, no makeup, right? I've never changed my wardrobe to look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
I drop the F bomb here and there, and we just got to all deal with it. If it happens, if I get really on a roll. And I have never to date in 12 years edited a video, not once. I have never done editing on a video what you get is what you get when I record it, because that is where my joy is. And I think that's what so many people love, is they want that permission to just show up as themselves and have fun and share what's on their heart. And that is what I want more people to do.
I love that you just said that. Because I think that there's this myth out there that you have to do everything a certain way, especially when it comes to video, that you must have it polished and it must look like this and you must act a certain way. And I felt that when I first started doing video, honestly, I felt like I don't fit.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I gave all that up and just flipped the table and said,
Yep.
whatever, I'm going to be who I am. And those people who need to hear my message will be the ones that show up. And those
Absolutely.
who don't, they'll self disqualify, which I'm good with now. But it was
Yeah.
very hard to start, especially when you don't see other people that look like you or that sound like you or that behave in the way that you do. I've heard people now, honestly, Shannon, say things like, hey, I like your style because you're real, like, chill. And then I have to kind of think, is that bad? But no, because that's what resonated with them, is that I wasn't like, wow, and all over the place as I
Yeah.
saw others, were. But each of us has our own unique audience and our unique gift of being able to market in a way that makes us feel good, like you said, which is why I just love the idea of this content wheel that you've created. Say the actual name again so that I don't get that wrong.
Content personality wheel.
That's it. Content personality wheel. So y'all need to go and check out joyfulbusinessrevolution.com so you can take the assessment and know, hey, this is where I operate best. Look, it's based on your own answers. It's not like Shannon is saying, hey, let me make them molded in a certain way so that their results come out this way so I can sell them on something. No, I love that you're giving people the gift of being able to identify what fits them best.
Yeah, and I just want to tell everyone, if you're thinking about working, um, here with a live stream, if you're live or if you're video, those would both be great candidates for what you're doing here. If you want more live speaking on a stage, maybe live teaching, that's kind of like where a lot of my clients actually come from. They're coming in and they want this live. But we have people across the entire gamut. So it's fun that you have a tool too, because you can you can have people take it and they can make sure that they're in the right place before they go down the road.
See how I'm subtly saying, go take it?
Yeah, go take it.
Take it so you can see. Look, and here's the thing. I know that sometimes people will come into the space and experiment, put their toe in the water, and then quietly tiptoe out, which is okay too.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
love that you're giving us a way to validate, hey, yeah, I thought this might be for me. Yes, it's for me, or nope, this is not for me, but something else is for me. There's something for you. It's just a matter of experimenting and finding out what that is. Have you ever had someone take the test or this, not test, the assessment and
Mhm.
find that they're multifaceted, that they really could potentially do any type of media? Have you ever had anyone that's kind of run into that situation?
Yeah, so early on in the first iteration. So remember, y'all, I said it's been tested, validated, researched. Like if we're going to do it around here, we do it right. Um, you got your first two results early on, and it created so much confusion for people, because then they were like, well, I'm video and written. I don't know. Should I do this? Should I do that? And I was like, oh my God, this is just like they're not doing anything, because now
Mm-hmm.
they're worried about what they should be doing, right? So in the next iteration, we made it so it only gives you your top one. So you don't ever get your second, third, fourth, or fifth. It doesn't rank them like that.
Yeah.
And I will say we have had so many people try and hack it. And I love it when they try and hack it. They try and hack the results. They're like, no, that's not my result. They put in a different email, or they use the same email and they get the same result. And they're like, oh my God, I answered it different. And I'm like, that's because it's tested and it's researched and it's validated, right? And so, when people take the content personality quiz, we usually have one of three responses. Oh, this makes sense. Yes, I'm going to do this. All right. This is kind of what I thought. Or, oh my God, no. Please let me take it again. I don't think that I'm like video or whatever, right? And then we have the people who try and take it multiple times and they still end up eventually after wasting a lot of time. Okay, these are the people who maybe don't trust anything. It's not my, it's just who they are. They come back around a couple years later and they're like, yeah, I should have just done it 2 years ago because that is what I am. So don't do that.
Y'all heard her say, don't do that. Just take it and be honest with yourself. Save yourself some time and give yourself a path to run on, because what's the point in doing
Yeah.
all the finagling? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
And I
love
also
that.
think one other really important thing about it is, I do live videos all the time. I don't watch videos at all.
Mm-hmm.
So this quiz is about your energy to show up in your own marketing, about how you create, not how you consume.
Mm.
So that I think is why people are really surprised, because they'll sound like me. They're like, well, I got live or I got video. I don't ever watch a video. Good. You don't have to watch a video. You got to go make the videos. That's what's going to sell your services.
Yeah. This is about your marketing proficiency, or what you can really build on, right? And improve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what advice, other than taking the wheel assessment, what other advice would you leave for someone who is in the throes of trying to figure out how they can be more joyful in their business?
Yeah. Um, I think the number one thing is have some mentors you can rely on. Have some people who have done what you're trying to do to help give you all the shortcuts, right? That's why I hire my mentors and my coaches. Um, know your message, know what you're here to do, what you're here to change, and what lights you on fire every single day. And if you can put your messaging with that, I call fire and flare, with your content personality and deliberate and powerful marketing, your business is going to change forever. And you will be more, experience more freedom, more fulfillment, more financial flow, more joy. These are the things that we are helping people do at Joyful Business Revolution.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you spending time to talk about the business, how you got started, why it's so important for people to find that joy, and why that joy theme is something that resonated with you. I love that you talked about your new book, which I also saw that was flagged at the top of your website. So I want to make sure I go back to that so that I can leave people with the link one more good time, because I think they need to go and take this assessment. Please go take this
Yeah.
so that when you come back over to our programs, you know that this is right for you. You've gotten some validation that video is a thing that you should really pursue, and then we can help you. And Shannon also has content that can further help you as well in terms of the video piece. I love that. So go
Yeah.
to joyfulbusinessrevolution.com. Is there anything else they need to know about or explore on your site when they come?
I think that's the main thing. Let's get you your content personality. You'll get a great guide to go along with it. And just so everyone knows, we are a brand and a business that prioritizes relationships. So Amy reaches out to everyone who takes the quiz and say, hey, do you want to get on a 20-minute call and go over your results and see how to make your marketing better? And I think it's one of the things that makes us really stand out, right, in the marketplace, is these relationships that we build. So don't be scared if you get an email.
She said, don't be scared, y'all. Okay. You might get contacted. And it's not just about selling you on something that you don't want or need. It is truly because they are coming from a place of wanting to be helpful and to make an impact. So I love that you do that. That personal connection right now is so important, Shannon. I mean, it's missing from a lot of people's marketing, but I definitely see that as strong with you, and it always has been. I mean, that's not new for you. And
Yeah.
again, I can say that personally because I've known you for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
real.
I do think it's missing from a lot of people. And I think one of the best compliments that we get all the time is like, wait, did Shannon send this email or did Amy send this email or did this come from the brand? Because it's all so consistent. The voice is so consistent. There's many times I send a personal email or I reach out personally and people are email back and they're like, is this really you?
I know. I love that.
I'm like, yes, it's really me.
I'm really
And
paying attention and
don't
writing
ever
this.
that, right? We don't ever need to lose that. And many people need to put more of that into what they're doing because I think it matters and it just helps you stand out.
I agree. I love it. Well, thank you once again for spending the time with us. And I want to have you back on at some point. And maybe even as one of our panel members, we're going to be doing some panels in the near future to talk about different types of content marketing, and video in particular, of course, is my happy place. But I love that you can really touch on almost all of the different types of content that are out there. So thank you for sharing that gift with the world, and thank you for sharing it with my audience.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, folks, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap things up and to close this on out. I hope that you will definitely remember to go ahead and follow joyfulbusinessrevolution.com. So go to the website and follow M. Shannon Hernandez on all the socials. But also remember to come back. And if you enjoyed this interview that we've done today, I want you to make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe for our channel as well. We do a weekly live stream every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So depending on your time, that is U.S. time zone, 8 p.m. Eastern. We love talking about live stream marketing and how you can use it to really leverage video in order to serve more people, stand out online, and just sell more of your services. Because most of the people who are in my audience are service providers. All right, we look forward to seeing you once again next week. And thanks again for watching.